Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you haven't been here before then hello, hi, and thank you for joining us. You guys will know this channel is all about self-improvement, whether it's yourself or your business or even starting up that business. Today we are going to be talking about budgeting. I know, but okay, it's not your normal everyday budget. This is budgeting so that you can become the millionaire of your dreams. Now, I know usually we associate budgeting with literally stripping our whole lives back. We can't go anywhere, we can't enjoy anything. But I think especially at a time like now with finances get a strain, it's a great time to really look at your budget, assess and analyze your budget, and maybe even create a new one so that we're on track to making the millions. So I'm going to just go through some budgeting 101 tips that's going to help you get on the path of really understanding your finances and then taking control and making that money. My first tip here, I'm sure you've heard your mum say this, mums are never wrong. Failure to plan is planning to fail. Now, I am such a culprit of this. I used to just live my life making money, spending money, have no clue what's going on. But unfortunately, this is not the way to financial success. If you're happy with the lifestyle that you live at the moment and that's the sort of method that you're doing, by all means continue. But I feel like if you're here already watching this video, not only should you subscribe, you also definitely want to go above and beyond where you're currently at, and you want to be collecting them coins. Now, the number one tip that I could give you is to start with a budget planner. But do not worry, I have saved you all the stress and headache by creating your very own blazed budget planner. Now with this, you just have to input your income and your expenses. We'll go over a bit more about that in a bit. But the Blaze Budget Planner will produce all of the data that you need in a nice digestible form. So it's very easy to follow, very easy to use, and it will get you on the path of making your millions. So what this template is great for is it's designed especially for self-employed and freelancers in mind. Now, I am self-employed, and I found that when I was using some of the other templates, I found it quite difficult because it wouldn't really give me the space to show the amount of income that I'm having coming in at different times. And what's great about the planner is that it has a whole section for your income where you can actually track who needs to pay you, what company it's coming from, and a due date. Now, going into the rest of the planner, something that's really important to complete is your estimated versus actual costs. Now, this is actually called a profit or loss budget. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking like, what's the point? Why would I even put in my estimated? Surely I'll just put in how much I'm actually spending. But pause, this is not the attitude to have. For you to really get ahead of your finances and be making them bigger money moves, you want to understand and foresee in advance how much you think you're going to make and how much you think you're going to spend. Now, the benefit of this is that it really helps you to understand, is my income actually going to even cover my expenses? Or am I living like literally mouth to mouth? Is that even the saying? But if you can see in advance that you think you might struggle, then it gives you the opportunity to take action on this and maybe cut down some expenses or try and increase your income. Another great reason for the profit and loss budget is it helps you to also reflect once the time has gone, and you can look back and see, okay, did I actually stick to that budget? Did I spend how much I estimated to spend, or did I go over? And then if you went under, then it gives you the chance to be like, okay, cool, maybe I can actually increase the amount that I want to save this month because I can see that last month I didn't spend as much as I thought I would. Following on from that, something I really advise you to do is to automate your finances. Within your expenses, you're going to include some things that are called fixed costs. Now, these are things that you're going to spend, but the price doesn't really change. So this will be things like your rent. It might be things like a phone bill where you know in advance how much you pay on a monthly basis. So to automate this, you would contact your bank and set up a direct debit. Now, this is where the amount will just come out of your account automatically on a set date every month, and it's just one less thing for you to think about. Now, this is on the road to making your millions because every success story will tell you one of the tips is to reduce how many things you have to think about throughout the day so that you can focus on the most important things. By automating your finances, it means you don't have to remember all the dates, all the figures and numbers. It's just already all set up for you. This will also help reduce the likelihood of you forgetting a payment and incurring costs. We are not trying to increase expenses out here. We're trying to make money. So if you can and you haven't already, one of the things I would advise you to do today is just look through your finances and try and see, are there payments that come out on a monthly basis or a weekly basis that are a set amount each time that I could actually set up a direct debit for, and it will just come out automatically. It will change your life. One of the most important tips I can give when it comes to budgeting and making the millions is to be able to set yourself a goal. Now with financial goals, I think by setting a figure, it kind of weighs the same as almost manifesting. When you make your vision board, you put imagery, you put pictures so you can visualize the lifestyle you want. You need to reflect that same sort of energy when it comes to your finances. By setting a goal each month, it helps you really stay motivated and it helps you see what you're trying to achieve. By having a goal, it helps you understand how much you need to potentially charge for your services or how much work it's going to take for you to achieve that goal based on the price of your services. This is what's so great about setting them goals. It really helps you reflect not only on your finances but also on your business plan. If you know that you're trying to make $2,000 a month, if you're only charging £100 for your services and you only do so many of them a week, you might find it very difficult to reach that goal. Now you need to remember, especially if you don't currently have any passive income streams, we will do a whole separate video on passive income, do not worry. But if you don't have any passive income streams, then your income is currently based on the amount of hours you can physically work in the day. Physically work in the day. That is not 24 hours because half of it you're sleeping, the other half you're eating. Let's take out some hours for some Instagram time, Twitter time and all the other social medias, and before you know it, there's only a very limited time that you're actually doing work. So by creating that goal, you can then really work out, how much are my services worth? Can I increase the fee slightly for my services so that I can help achieve my goal? Or alternatively, is there a way that I can work smarter in that same amount of time and earn more money than potentially working all of the hours and really pushing myself to the limit? So there's definitely a lot of areas for self-reflection and business reflection when you set yourself a goal. And when it comes to setting yourself a goal within the budget planner, all you need to do is input an amount that you want to make that month, and the budget planner will actually create a graph in the summary section at the top, lovely and visual, and it will show you how close you are to achieving that goal every month. And what's great is that the graph will update automatically when you're inputting how much you're making. Now there's also an area where you can input how much your savings goals are for that month. And I think one thing this current situation has taught us is that it's really important to save for a rainy day. Now a lot of people recommend that you try and save between 1 to 3 months worth of income. Obviously the more you can save the better, and there's other things that you want to be saving for as well, whether it's going on holidays, luxury goods, and even if it is just for that rainy day, then it's very easy to do with the budget planner because it can also help you track your progression to them goals as well. My next great tip is really assessing how much you're spending. It's not fun. It's not fun looking back and really realizing you need to delete that Deliveroo app. Uber Eats is not your friend. Bolt is not your broski. They need to go. And I think if one thing that staying inside has taught us is that there is really rice at home. Look how much you've managed to save over this past few weeks. Obviously once the situation is over, your spending might go back up and might increase slightly, but I think it's great for you to reflect on the areas that you don't really need to be spending on and that you probably haven't been spending on all of this time. So really take the time just to look through your finances and your statements, or even through the apps on your phone, and just decide, do I really need this app that I'm paying a subscription for? Once we are allowed back outside and we can go back to places, do I need to be paying for a monthly gym membership if I enjoy working out from home a lot more than I thought I would? It's just about really reflecting through how much you're spending and questioning yourself, do I need to spend that much money? Now what we're not trying to do is just trap ourselves and not let us do anything fun, because otherwise what is the point of living? But it's training yourself to really understand your finances and being in control of them and being in control of yourself. Because when Deliveroo is sending you free delivery and you're the first one jumping on the app, That is not self-control. But that is what we're trying to gain that back, and we're trying to gain control of the finances. So once you really do have that control back, what it enables you to do is when you do decide to spend, you're spending on things that you really want. You're not just doing impulsive buying here and impulsive shopping there. And what's great is obviously within your budget, you can also add that in there beforehand. So if you know you like getting your hair and nails done, that's something you can put in there. If you know that you like shopping for a pair of sneakers every month, that's something that you could also put within your budget under like luxuries and shopping. So you can already pre-budget for the luxuries and things that you do enjoy in advance, but it's just a matter of actually sticking to that. So we're just going to recap so you guys know the budgeting tips that I've given today and where to start. So number one would be to reflect. Look at currently what you are spending on, and do you need to spend on these things? This also includes just reviewing things that you're potentially subscribed to that you might have completely forgot, and you're just spending money without even realizing. Another tip was to automate your finances. Decide what things you think are fixed cost, whether it's a phone bill or your rent, and set it up with your bank today. It's really simple to do. You just tell them the amount that you want to spend and on what date of the month you want it to come out and who it's going to, and it will be done, and that's one less thing to worry about. Download the Blaze Budget Planner and set your goals and complete your estimated amounts so that you're able to then create a profit and loss budget. From the goal that you've set, almost work out going backwards. If you know you want to make a certain amount by the end of the year, based on the amount of months that we have left, how much does that mean that you'd need to be making each month? And then how much does that mean you'd need to be making a week? And how much would that mean that you need to be charging an hour for your services? So within that point, it's just to really reflect now on the plan and your business. So I hope you guys found this video useful, and I hope that at least one of you took something away from this today. If you have any other questions when it comes to budgeting and finance, please leave them down in the comments down below, or drop me a DM on Instagram and I'll make sure I get back to you. And if there are any other key business topics and startup business topics that you would like me to answer or do a video on, then also please comment that down below so I know what you guys would love to see next. Thank you for watching!